Alright, hey there. This is Unit 3, Video 2. We're going to work on solving right triangles, but this time we're only looking for the angle measures. Let's go ahead and get started. So if the sine of angle A, so let's go ahead and label our triangle here. So little a, little b, and hypotenuse is little c. If the sine of angle A is the opposite over the hypotenuse, then that's the ratio we get. Therefore, I can have the sine of angle B equal little b over c. Now we also know that a over c is the ratio for the cosine of angle B, and b over c is the same as the cosine of A. So those work. So we're going to be using these as we go through this. So our first example here is going to have a leg of 16 and a hypotenuse of 29. Okay, and we're going to find the angles that are missing. So I'm recognizing right now if I were to find this angle, I'm using sine. And if I'm finding this angle, I would be using cosine, because whether I have an adjacent or I have an opposite. It doesn't really matter to me which one I use, so I'm going to go ahead and use cosine. I'm going to find this angle first. So I've got cosine of that angle will equal the ratio of 16 over 29. To enter this in your calculator, you're actually going to enter the inverse. The inverse will find what we don't have. Okay, we don't have the angle. So cosine inverse of 16 over 29. Please make sure your mode is in degrees. So just type that in, you're going to get the answer for that angle. So I have the cosine inverse, or second cosine, 16 divided by 29, and I'm coming up with 56.514 degrees. I don't really tell you how to round here. The book might be more specific, and so will the worksheets. So let's go to the nearest degree, because I don't tell you. And so this angle is 57 degrees. So let's go ahead and find the other angle, and we have two ways. I know that this is a right triangle. Any triangle only has 180 degrees. This one's 90, so I can use my 57 plus 90, and I can subtract all of that from 180. And that's going to give me this angle down here. So I can add 90 and then subtract from 180, and I've got this angle to be to the nearest degree 33 degrees. The other way would have been using trig. We'll use trig on both of the next ones. This is 14.3 and 12.4. Looks like I've got some sort of tangent set up. Well, tangent of what? If I have the tangent of this angle, then I'm going to have the opposite of 14.3 over 12.4. I'm going to use the tan inverse, so the second tangent of 14.3 over 12.4. Let's go ahead. Tan inverse of 14.3 divided by 12.4, and that gives me this angle right here to be 49 degrees. If I were to do the opposite, that would mean I'd be finding this angle on the top. So that would just be the reciprocal of this. So let's use the calculator once again. Tan inverse of 12.4 divided by 14.3. And that leaves me with 41 degrees. If I were to add those up and my 990 degrees, I'd equal 180. All right, get that in your notes and we'll talk more tomorrow.